Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Anshi. Yes, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, still people are joining. I'll wait for 2 more minutes and then I'll start. Okay. मम्मी पानी पानी Okay, so I'm starting now. My screen is visible to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Okay. 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 We were going through the functions chapter, right? I think we completed. Okay. This area of rectangle function we completed, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So that now the two types of function we will study based on the return value. Okay. So there are two types of function. The first one is fruitful function. Just a second. Yeah. The first function is fruitful function, and the second function is void function. Okay. So the fruitful function is the one that returns a value, and a function that does not return a value is called a void function. Okay. So fruitful function always return some value, any value, any data type like integer, string, float, anything it will return at least. Okay, but a void function will not return anything. So in a void function we do not use the return keyword. I talked about the return keyword in the previous class. What does a return keyword do? It just returns some value from a function. Okay, and if we do not use a return keyword in a function, then that function is called void function. Otherwise, if we use the return keyword that returns some value, then we call that function a fruitful function. Okay, so that's the difference. Okay, now in a function, I also talked about the parameters in the area of rectangle function. I took two parameters, the length and the breadth. Okay, and using those parameters, the length and the breadth, I computed the area and returned my area value. Okay, now there are two types of these parameters also. These are called parameters or arguments. Okay, arguments of a function. Okay, So these parameters are also of two types. Okay, first a default argument and second a non-default argument. So let's see what is that. So the default arguments are also called the okay, what are they called? Default arguments are also called the keyword arguments, and the non-default arguments are also called the positional arguments. No, the default arguments are called the positional arguments, and the non-default arguments are called the keyword arguments. Okay. Okay, let me check. Okay, so let's see, in this example only we have this function area of rectangle. So it includes two arguments, length and the breadth. So we can see that the value of breadth in the argument, it is given to be 1. Breadth is equals to 1, but there is no value of the length argument or the length parameter. So the length will be called positional argument or non-default argument, and breadth will be called default argument or keyword argument. It is called keyword because there is this key and this is its value. That is why it is called a keyword argument. So keyword argument or default argument are same, and positional argument and non-default argument are also same. Okay, these are the two types of parameter that we can give inside a function. Okay, so let's see how we can work with it. Let's use this function. Okay, so here a function is created f with a few parameters a b c d e f g h. So 8 parameters are there, a b c d e f g h, and the parameter values are 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So if we call this function f, if we call this function f, so it will return what? It will return the sum of all these parameters a b c d e f g h. So that is uh, 1 to 10 55. So that, so their sum will be I think 44, I guess. Yeah, so their sum is 44. Okay, the sum of all these values 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Okay, but what we can do that when we use a default argument, so what happens is we do not need to give these values while calling the function. Okay, so for example here the area of rectangle function we had created, we gave this parameters l and b, but their values aren't given. So by calling the function you need to give the values to these parameters l and b, but here since this parameter values are already given while creating the function only, so their values need not be given while calling the function. You can give them, but they are not necessary. Okay, so you can also give them. So if I write, let's say, inside the function if I write 10, 10. Okay, so what will happen is that this value 10 will be assigned to this a, and this b c d e e f g h will be assigned the default values only 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Just a second. रगारिया एसी चलाओ. 16 पे कर दो. Yeah. Okay. So this function will give the sum of all these values a, b, c, d, e, f, g, h. Now if we like when we did not, while calling the function, when we did not pass the value of any parameter, it just took the all the default values that were given while creating the function only. But when we call the function and give a parameter there, that parameter is taken by, that value is taken by some of the parameter in the function. So this value 10 is taken by a, because we have given one parameter, one argument. So this will be taken by the very first parameter. If we give, let's say, two arguments, let's say 11, so this will be taken by b, because the second parameter is b only, so 11 will be given to b. So let's just replace a and b and just run this function again. So you can see that the sum of the all the a, b, c, d, e, f, g, h is 60 now. Why? Because their values were by default 2 and 3, but we have replaced them by 10 and 11. After replacing them by 10 and 11, rest of the parameters will have the same value, and the sum of all these parameters will be 60. Okay. You can change the parameter values by referring to specific parameters. So let's say I want to just change directly c. So I'll replace c by 10, and then let's say I want to replace g. So I'll replace g by 11, and then h. So h by 12. After this, the function sum will be 56. F C.
सर
Yeah.
फंक्शन c इक्वल टू 10
Yeah.
कॉमा डायरेक्ट 13 14 नहीं लिख सकते हैं.
Direct 13 14
मतलब
means.
g लिखना c इक्वल टू 10
हाँ.
कॉमा मतलब डी आने के लिए डायरेक्ट 11 लिख नहीं सकते क्या? डी लिखना ही पड़ेगा क्या?
डी मैंने यहाँ जी लिखा हुआ है.
हाँ लिखा है, पर उसके
तुम
जगह डायरेक्ट 11
डायरेक्ट
लिखा तो डी की वैल्यू आएगी ना.
नहीं, डी की वैल्यू नहीं आएगी. अगर मैंने जी इज इक्वल टू 11 लिखा तो जी की वैल्यू चेंज होगी, डी की नहीं.
नहीं 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 नहीं, वो
हाँ.
नहीं,
हाँ.
कुछ भी नहीं लिखा, डायरेक्ट कॉमा 11 लिखा सी
डायरेक्ट
के बाद.
कॉमा 11 लिख दिया. नहीं तो ये मैंने लास्ट क्लास में बताया था कि कीवर्ड आर्ग्यूमेंट्स और पोजिशनल आर्ग्यूमेंट्स का ऐसा रूल होता है कि सबसे पहले, नहीं सॉरी, लास्ट क्लास में शायद नहीं बताया था ये बात. तो ऐसा पाइथन का रूल होता है कि जो कीवर्ड्स आर्ग्यूमेंट होते हैं और जो पोजिशनल आर्ग्यूमेंट्स होते हैं, तो सारे पोजिशनल आर्ग्यूमेंट्स जो होते हैं वो कीवर्ड आर्ग्यूमेंट के पहले आते हैं. तो अगर मैं सी इज इक्वल टू 10 और उसके बाद सीधा 11 लिख दूँ, तो 11 एक पोजिशनल आर्ग्यूमेंट हुआ, ठीक है, और सी इज इक्वल टू 10 एक कीवर्ड आर्ग्यूमेंट हुआ. बट पाइथन का रूल होता है कि कीवर्ड आर्ग्यूमेंट्स जो होते हैं वो सारे बाद में आते हैं, और पोजिशनल आर्ग्यूमेंट्स जो होते हैं वो पहले आते हैं. तो ये रन नहीं करेगा, ये एरर दे देगा. देखो क्या एरर दिया है. पोजिशनल आर्ग्यूमेंट फॉलोज कीवर्ड आर्ग्यूमेंट, मतलब पहले पोजिशनल आर्ग्यूमेंट आना चाहिए, फर्स्ट पोजिशनल आर्ग्यूमेंट शुड कम, एंड आफ्टर दैट द कीवर्ड आर्ग्यूमेंट शुड कम. So this will give error. So 11 will not get assigned to D, it will just create error. Okay. Okay, is that clear? Is that clear to everyone?
यस सर.
Okay. Okay. So I believe the concept of default and non-default arguments or keyword or positional arguments is clear. Okay, let's come to the next topic. Import. Okay, import of the module, we'll come to that later. First let's understand the assert condition. Okay, so assert, we have the assert, this assert keyword in Python, which is used to give some condition. Okay, So let's say I created a function. Let's say I create a function, defined function. Let's say function name is g, and let's say it takes two parameters. Let's say the selling price and the cost price and the selling price, and let's say it gives the profit. Profit is equals to selling price minus cost price, and it will return the profit. Now people are okay, so profit is equals to sp minus cp. Now let's say I call this function g, and I give two parameters 100 and 90, and I run the function. So it is giving, okay, that is cost price and selling. Okay, so the profit is minus 10, that means it is in loss. So because selling price is lesser than cost price. So and if I give cost price to be 90 and selling price to be 100, I'm getting the value 10 as profit. So 100 minus 90, so 10 as profit. Now let's say I want to tell this function also that my selling price and cost price should be greater than or equals to 0. That means every time, so if something is bought and sold, it is must that its selling price is greater than or equals to 0. The least we can do is give it for free, that is for value 0, but we cannot make its value less than 0. That means if even if I give here, even if I give here the cost price to be minus 90 and selling price to be minus 100, it will, the function will work. But this is incorrect actually. This is incorrect because the cost price and selling price cannot be in negative. Okay, so for this, to satisfy this condition, we can use this assert keyword, and tell Python that my cost price is should be greater than or equals to 0, comma, selling price should be also greater than or equals to 0. Like this you can give as much conditions as you want. Okay, so in this case, now if I run this function, it is giving an error. It is giving assertion error. Okay, बंद कर दो, बंद कर दो पंखा. Okay, this is giving error because I asserted that my cost price and selling price should be greater than or equals to 0. But here the cost price and selling price are less than 0. Even if I, let's say if I give selling price to be 100, okay, in this case also it will give an error because the selling price is greater than 100 but the cost price is still less than 0. It is not greater than or equals to 0. This condition, just because this condition is not satisfied, that is why this function is giving an error. It is giving an assertion error because you asserted a condition and that condition is not satisfied. Okay, एसी ही बंद कर दिया क्या? Okay, so if I asserted these two conditions, then I need to make sure that these conditions are satisfied. Okay, then only my this will work. Nahi. Okay, so the concept of this assert statement is clear to everyone, or should I repeat? Yes, Nilanjan.
Yes, sir.
This assert condition is clear to you?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay, okay, okay. So what do we use assert condition for? To assert some condition so that when the condition do not get satisfied, we get an error. Okay, only if the conditions are satisfied, then only your code will work. So these are assert conditions for. Okay. Okay, so chapter 2 is over. Functions we have done. Also, one more thing, assert condition you can also use outside a function also. Okay, you can, if you do not want to use this inside a function, you can put these things outside the functions also. Okay, let's say I want to use I do not want to use this assert condition inside this function, so I'll keep this assert condition here, and after that I will use my CP and write my CP and SP here. CP to be 90, SP to be, let's say, 10, and I give my CP and SP here. So see, it's still okay. CP and SP. Okay, we need to give this. So after giving a CP and SP, I'm using the send condition. That's CP. Okay, why is it giving error? Yeah. Okay, so if you give two conditions and you put comma, then what does it do? It checks. It checks. It uses or between these two conditions. Or means if at least one of the condition is satisfied, it will work. Otherwise, it will not. So if you need to check both the condition, you need to put an and operation between these two conditions, and then it will check both of the conditions. So in this case it will not work. Okay, so you can use assert condition assert statement outside the functions also, and to check multiple conditions at the same time you need to put and keyword between all the conditions. Otherwise it will, if at least one of the conditions is true, then your function will work, then your code will work. So to check all the conditions you need to put and keyword between all the conditions that you give. So if I want to give more condition here, I need to put and so there are not much more conditions to check now. Okay, but I can give as many conditions as I want using the assert keyword. Also I can use multiple assert statement. Let's say I can also do like this. I can use assert and use do like this. Okay, it will do the same thing. Either I can use multiple assert keywords, or I can use a single assert keyword with multiple conditions separated by and operator. Okay, okay, so I believe these things are clear regarding assert statement. Yes, Varsha,
Yes, sir.
is everything clear regarding assert statement?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay. If anyone of you has any doubt from the previous class also, you may ask. Okay, I told that in the previous class, just go through everything that I had explained, and you may ask your doubts in the next class. So if nobody is having any doubt from the previous class, it is well and good. Otherwise, you can ask. Okay. So chapter 2 functions is also completed. Everything we have completed in functions. Now we will start the third chapter, which is control structures. Okay. So, what are control structures for? Control structures are used for non-sequential and repetitive execution of the instructions. Okay. Control statements, also called control structures, are used to control the flow of a program executed by allowing non-sequential or repetitive execution of instructions. Python supports if, for, and while so if, for, and while control structures. So there are three control structures: if, for, and while, that we will deal with. In a control statement, Python code following the colon is indented. Okay, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what does this mean. Okay, so well, first of all, let us work with if condition. Okay, if statement. So let's say in an exam there are marks between 90, between 0 and 100. So some student got 90 marks. So my condition will check if marks is greater than 33, then print passed, and the student has passed. Okay. Okay, so this is an example of if statement. It is checking marks, and if marks is greater than 33, it will print that the student is passed. Okay, so now if I run this condition, it is saying passed. Why? Because marks is actually greater than 33. Marks is 90. 90 is greater than 33. This condition is satisfied, and this condition is true. So it is printing passed. Okay, let's say it is less than 33. Let's say it is 30. In this case, nothing will happen. Why nothing will happen? Because it tried to check this condition. 30 is greater than 33. This condition was false, so it did not come inside this, and it did not print passed. Okay, so that is why nothing happened. Okay, but it will work. The statements inside this if condition will only work only when the condition is true. Okay, प्रगरिया रिमोट देना. हाँ. हाँ, तो रूम थोड़ा देर ठंडा हो जाएगा तो बंद कर देंगे. Okay. Okay, so this is the use of if statement to check some condition. If that condition is true, whatever is written inside this if statement, that will get executed. So this condition, if this is 30, this 30 is not less than 30, 30 is not greater than 33. So this condition is false. So this statement will not get executed. But if there is 90, so 90 is greater than 33. So in this case, this statement is true. So this statement, so this condition is true, so this statement will get executed fast. Okay, you can see that if, so here is a flow chart to explain if condition. So the control will flow like this, and this condition will come. If the condition is true, statement s will get executed, which is inside the if statement. And if it false, this statement, all f's will not get executed. After there are, and after outside the if condition, if there are any statements, those will get executed. So it will just skip this s statement and come outside it. Okay, so here is an example of if condition. Let's understand it. Okay. Okay, so we have made this function moderate. What moderate is doing, it is taking two parameters, first of all marks and then the pass marks. Then it is checking if marks is equals to pass marks minus 1, or marks is equals to pass marks minus 2, marks is equals to pass marks, and then it will return the marks. Okay, so if the pass marks is 40, then it will take the it is when if I run this condition, because of this line int input, this input function, it is asking me to enter the marks. So let's say I enter uh, 45. So if I enter 45, so let's see what int marks is now. 45 and moderate marks is 45. What is happening here, I entered the marks to be 45, so it went inside this function moderate with this 45, and the pass marks was 40, so it checked this condition. पापा पापा आवाजवा कम करिए, क्लास ले रहे हैं, बंद कर दीजिए टीवी. Okay, so what is happening, I am giving the pass marks to be 40 and the marks to be 45, so it is going inside this function moderate function with the parameters marks to be 45 and pass marks to be 40. Okay, and then it is checking whether 40 whether 45 is equals to 45 minus 1, or 45 is equals to 45 minus 2, sorry, 40 minus 2. And if that condition, if any of these two conditions, so there are two conditions, if any of these two conditions are satisfied, then marks will become pass marks. But marks is not equals to pass marks minus 1, because see, uh, the marks is 45 and the pass marks is 40. And what is the condition, pass marks, sorry, marks should be, marks is equals to pass marks minus 1, or marks is equals to pass marks minus 2. See, but marks is equals to 45, this is equals to pass marks minus 1 is 40, pass marks minus 1 is 39, or 45 is equals to pass marks minus 2 is 40 minus 2, that is 38. So both of this condition are false, so overall it will be false because of this or statement, overall it will be false. Okay, so because it is false, this condition is not getting executed, this statement is not getting executed, because both this condition is false in our example. So it will return just the marks, and the original marks were 45, that is why this moderate function will return 45. So this moderate function, when we call here, it will return 45, that 45 will get stored in the moderate marks, and after that it will print moderate marks is equals to this moderate marks, so that is 45 only. But let's say if I enter my, if let's say I enter my pass marks to be, sorry, if I enter my marks to be 39. Okay, if I enter my marks to be 39, then moderate marks is 40. It is it is doing, what it is just moderating your marks. If your marks is 38 or 39, that it will make it 40, that is the pass marks. So in exam, sometimes in exams we are given some grace marks, that grace marks is here defined by the moderate marks. When we are given grace marks, when our marks is very close to the passing marks. Okay, when our marks is very close to the passing marks, so in that case we are given grace marks. So that grace marks, we are giving using this moderate function. If your marks come out to be 38 or 39, then it is very close to the pass marks, that is 40. So if that is the case, so if it is either 38 or 39, what we do, we change our marks to the pass, to be pass marks. Okay, so that 38 and 39 will become 40 only, and it will return the marks, that is 40. Okay, so here we enter the marks to be 39, so some student got 39 marks, but that 39, after moderating this, it became 40. Okay. Okay, so this thing is clear, what is happening here in this moderate function? Muskan Yadav,
Yes, sir.
is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
सर
Yeah.
प्रीवियस सेल में मार्क्स इक्वल्स टू 90 लिया था. इफ मार्क इज
Hmm.
ग्रेटर देन 33,
हाँ.
तो उस मार्क्स इक्वल्स टू 32 लिया, तो फेल आने के लिए आगे कुछ लिखना पड़ेगा कि?
हाँ, वो लिख सकते हैं, उस पर हम लोग आएंगे, बताऊंगा. सबसे पहले ये चीज़ तो क्लियर है ना सबको, मॉडरेट मार्क्स में क्या हो रहा है? ओके.
हेलो सर.
यस. यस ऋषिकेश,
हाँ, वो स्क्रीन दिखाई ना सर.
बोलो.
हाँ, सो सर वो मॉडरेट मास इज इक्वल टू जो अपने फंक्शन डिफाइन किया है ना,
हाँ.
हाँ वो कैसे वर्क कर रहा है बताइए ना सर.
Okay. So this moderate function is taking two parameters. First of all, the marks and the pass marks. What is our pass marks? It is 40. And what is our marks? Marks. It is marks. It is taking using this input function. Using this input function, we inputted the marks to be 39. Okay. So this 40 and 39 went here. So the marks is 39 and the pass marks to be 40. It went inside this function, and then using this if condition it is checking two conditions, whether marks is equals to pass marks minus 1, or marks is equals to pass marks minus 2. So the marks is 39, so it is checking 39 is equals to pass marks minus 1, that is 40 minus 1, 39. So 39 is equals to 39, this condition is true. Or marks is equals to pass marks minus 2, that is 39 is equals to 40 minus 2, that is 38, this condition is false. So this condition came out to be true, this condition came out to be false. But we are using the or operator here. So in the or operator, if any of the condition is true, if at least one of the condition is true, then overall the whole statement is true. So this is true and this is false, but because of this or statement, this whole thing is true. Okay, so since this is true, this if condition is true, so this statement will get executed. So your marks, which was previously 39, it became to be equals to pass marks, that is 39 became 40, this marks became 40, and then it returned the marks, it returned marks. So marks is what, it is 40 only. So this moderate function returned 40, and that 40 got stored in this moderate marks. Okay, then it printed that moderate marks is equals to this moderate marks, that is 40. So it printed moderate marks to be equals to 40. Okay, I hope it is clear now.
यस सर.
Okay. Okay, let's deep dive more into this if condition. Okay, so with this if condition, we have another condition. With this if keyword, we can use another keyword called else keyword. So if we give here condition, if this condition is true, sequence s1 of statements will get executed. Otherwise, if this if condition is not true, this else part will get executed, that is sequence s2 of statements will get executed. So this is the flow chart. If the condition is true, then sequence, then s1 statements will get executed, and if the condition is false, then s2 statements will get executed. So let's see an example. Let's use this example only. If Okay, so I'm using if, along with I'm using the else keyword also. If marks is greater than 33, then it will print that the student has passed. And if this condition is if not satisfied, that is marks is not greater than 33, then then this else part will get executed and it will print that the student failed. So if I run this, it is printing passed. Why? Because the marks is 90. 90 is greater than 33. This condition is true. So it is printing passed. Because this condition is true, sequence of statement S1 is getting executed like this here. If the condition is true, sequence of S1 will be executed. Else, sequence S2 of statements will get executed. Okay, so in this case, because this condition is true, this will get executed, so it will print passed. But if this is 30, in this case this condition is not satisfied, so if we run this, it will print failed. Why? Because 30 is not greater than 33, so this condition is false. So because this condition is false, this statement will not get executed. It will come to the else part and execute this statement. So after executing this statement, it will print that the student has failed. Okay, so this is how we can use the else statement along with the if statement, sorry, else keyword along with the if keyword also. If I remove this, if I remove this else part and then execute again, nothing will happen because there is no else part. Because this condition is not true and there is no else part, so this will not get so nothing will happen. But if the else part is added and then we will run this, and if this condition is false, this else part or the sequence of S2 statements will get executed, so it will print failed. Okay, so this is how the if else works. If this condition is true, then sequence S1 of statements will get executed, and if this condition is not true, this will not get executed. The else part will get executed, so sequence of a statement else2 will get executed. Okay, so if else is clear, I believe. Yes, Riya Kumari.
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Okay, okay, let's understand this example now. Okay, so now we have created this authenticate user function. What is this function doing? It is taking a parameter which is the password and it is checking if the password is equals to magic, then the message is login successful and welcome to the system. And if the password is not equals to magic, then the message is password mismatch. Okay, and then it is returning the message. Now we are printing the into this, we are printing the login system, then printing this, then we are inputting the password. Okay, input enter password, so that will get stored in password, and then this authenticate user function will be called with this password that we have just inputted. And if the whatever this authenticate password function, authenticate user function returning, that is stored in message, and then we are printing the message. If I run this function, okay, there's some error.
Sir, why inverted comma double I?
So I ran this function, so it is first of all printing this login system, then it is printing this all this, then it is asking me input enter password. Because of this, it is asking me to enter the password. So let's say I entered the password to be magic, magic, magic. If I and then I press enter, then it is printing login successful when welcome to the system. Why it is doing that? Because when I entered the password to be magic, it this password entered. Okay, this authenticate user function was called with the password magic, and it checked whether the password is equals to magic or not. So this condition was true. Because this condition was true, the message became login successful. The message became login successful, welcome to the system, and it returned the message, and then we printed the message. So the message was login successful and welcome to the system. That is why it is printing login successful and welcome to the system. Now if I run this function again, this time it will not use magic, and I will use, let's say, another word. Let's say I'm entering the password to be box. Okay, not magic. So when this time I run this, it is giving me password mismatch. Why? Because the password is box. Okay, so the password is not is equals to magic. This condition was getting satisfied, so the message is in this case is password mismatch, because password is not is equals to magic. That is why it is printing the password mismatch. Okay, so we can replace this. There are two if conditions used here, but we can replace the second if condition with this else condition. We can put here else. Okay, and this function will work in the similar manner only. Now this time if I use magic, it will print login successful, welcome to the system. If I run this again, use box, it is printing password mismatch. So either I can use multiple if conditions, or I can simply use if and else condition. Okay, both will work in the similar manner. But if I use multiple if condition, then I have to give all the conditions. See, here I had written password is equals to magic. Here I had to write password is not equals to magic. But if I'm using the else part, I do not need to. Okay, I do not need to write the else. I do not need to write this condition when I'm using the else statement. Okay, with else statement, I do not need to write password is not is equals to magic. I can just directly go, because if this if condition is not satisfied, the else one condition will consider the opposite part or of it. Okay, so if this condition is true, this else condition will be false, and if this if condition will be false, this else condition will be true. So this statement will get executed. Okay, so this is how we can work with if and else conditions, if and else statements. Okay, okay, so these things are clear. Sidra Hassan. Yes. Whatever I have told, it is clear. Okay. Okay, now there is another thing, if, elif and else statements. Initially we studied just the if condition, then we studied the if and else condition. Now we will be studying if, elif and else condition. Okay, so let's see what is if, elif and else. Let's say first of all I'm entering the marks. Let's say marks to be 90. Now I'm using this if condition. If marks is greater than or equals to 90, where is message? Where do you want me to share the slides? UE? I already share the slides on the WhatsApp group. If you are there, you will get it. Okay. So if marks is greater than 90, print grade A. Elif. Okay. So this is an example of if, elif and else condition. So what will happen in this case? It will first of all check this if condition. If this if condition is true, then it will execute this statement and leave the rest of the statements. Okay. So I am giving the marks to be 95, and I'm running this. So it is printing grade A. Why? Because the marks is 95 and it is checking first of all this condition. If this if condition 95 is greater than or equals to 90, that is why it is printing grade A. Okay, so it printed grade A. Let's say I give it 85. I run this now. Let first of all check this condition. 85 is greater than or equals to 90. This condition was false, so this statement will not get executed. So it will comes to this elif part. Elif matlab, elif means else if. Okay, elif means else if. Okay, so else if marks is greater than or equals to 80, but marks is 85, so 85 is greater than or equals to 80, so this condition is true. So because this condition is true, it is printing grade B. So grade B is printed. So let's say now I run this with marks is equals to 75. So first of all it came here to this if part. 75 is not greater than 90, so this condition is false, so it is not printing grade A. Now 75 is also not greater than equals to 80, so this condition is also false, so it is not printing this grade B. So but 75 is greater than or equals to 70, so this condition is true, so that is why it is printing. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So because 75 is greater than 70, this condition is true, that is why it is printing grade C. Okay. Let's say now I do this with 45. Okay. Now if I run this, 45 is not greater than or equals to 90. This condition is false, so it is not printing grade A. 45 is also not greater than this. This is false, so it is not printing grade B. 45 is also not greater than 70. This condition is again false, so it is not printing grade C. Again 45 not greater than 60, this condition is again false, so it is not printing grade D. Again 45 not greater than 50, this condition is again false, so it is not printing grade E. Now it is coming to this else part. Because all these conditions got was not satisfied, all these conditions was false, so because that is why else part will get executed, because all the conditions were not true, all the conditions were false, that is why it is printing grade F. So this else part will only get executed when all of the previous conditions will be false. Okay, in that case only this else part will get executed. Otherwise, whichever of the condition will get satisfied first, that is set of a statement will get executed. If this condition is satisfied first, then this will executed. If this condition is not satisfied first, but this condition is satisfied first, then this will get executed, and so on. So this is how we can use if, elif, and else statement. Elif means else if this condition is true, else if this condition is true, else if this condition is true, and so on. Okay. So moving forward, you will realize there are many problems using in which we can use this if and else statements to solve the problems. Okay. Okay. So the if, elif, and else things are clear. Okay.
सर
Yeah.
मैं बता रहा था वहाँ पे तो मेनी ऑप्शन सेटिस्फाई हो सकता है मेनी कंडीशन
हाँ,
सेटिस्फाई
मेनी कंडीशन सेटिस्फाई हो सकता है, बट मैंने क्या बोला, वही स्टेटमेंट एग्जीक्यूट होगा जिसका स्टेटमेंट सबसे पहले जिसका कंडीशन सबसे पहले सेटिस्फाई होगा। तो यहाँ पे अगर मैं 95 दे दूँ, सबसे पहले ये वाला कंडीशन सेटिस्फाई होगा, तो सबसे पहले ये वाला सेटिस्फाई हो गया तो ये प्रिंट कर देगा, और फिर इस इन सब का बाकी के कंडीशंस के पास जाएगा ही नहीं, सीधा इन सब के नीचे आ जाएगा। समझे? लेट से मैं यहाँ लिखता हूँ प्रिंट पास। ओके, अगर मैं अब इसे रन करूँ तो इसने क्या किया, चेक किया कि 95 वॉज ग्रेटर देन 90 और नॉट, तो ये सबसे पहले ये कंडीशन चेक किया, ये कंडीशन जैसे ही सेटिस्फाई हो गया इसने प्रिंट कर दिया ग्रेड ए। अब बिकॉज ये कंडीशन सेटिस्फाई हो गया, अब नीचे वाले किसी भी कंडीशन को चेक करने की जरूरत नहीं है, सीधा इसके यहाँ पे आ जाएगा, सबसे नीचे आ जाएगा प्रिंट, और प्रिंट कर देगा पास। तो इट डजेंट मैटर कि बाकी कंडीशन सेटिस्फाई हो रहे हैं कि नहीं, अगर जो भी सबसे पहला कंडीशन सेटिस्फाई होगा बस उसी के स्टेटमेंट को एग्जीक्यूट करेगा, बाकी को छोड़ देगा। जब अगर ये पहला कंडीशन सेटिस्फाई नहीं करेगा तभी जाके दूसरे कंडीशन पे जाएगा और उसको चेक करेगा, और अगर दूसरा सेटिस्फाई मिल गया तो बाकी के नीचे को छोड़ देगा, सीधा इस एकदम नीचे आ जाएगा, एल्स पार्ट के बाद आ जाएगा। ठीक है, अभी क्लियर है?
हेलो सर।
हाँ सर क्लियर।
ओके। यस नीलांजन।
हेलो।
यस ऋषिकेश।
हाँ सर, अभी जो मार्क्स आपने लिखे हैं वो डिसेंडिंग ऑर्डर में है।
हाँ
अगर मैं असेंडिंग ऑर्डर में लिखता हूँ और
हाँ
पहले मतलब पहले 40 50 60 70 80 90 ऐसा लिखता हूँ,
हम्म
और मैंने मार्क्स एंटर किए हैं 60,
हम्म
तो मार्क्स ग्रेटर देन से मतलब जो पहले कंडीशन आएगी वही प्रिंट होगा।
हाँ, जो पहली कंडीशन, हाँ जो पहली कंडीशन सेटिस्फाई होगी उसी के बेसिस पे प्रिंट करेगा, यही होगा।
ओके।
हाँ। Okay, okay. So I believe if, elif, and else, someone.
हेलो
Yes, Akash.
सर, ग्रेड एफ पे हमें फेल लिखना है, मतलब
हाँ
कंडीशन
हाँ, grade F means
तो
fail.
क्या लिखा?
What? Yes,
सर
Akash.
मतलब
हाँ
वहाँ से प्रिंट करके ही लिख सकते हैं ना?
हाँ हाँ हाँ, मैं समझा नहीं क्या पूछ रहे हो।
जब हम 60 दिए तो पास पास आना चाहिए उधर,
हाँ
हम मार्क्स जब 60 दिए ना तो पास आना चाहिए,
हाँ
और जब 50 से कम मार्क्स आएंगे तो फेल आना चाहिए उधर
हाँ
नीचे,
हाँ।
तो उधर क्या करना चाहिए?
ओके, अगर मार्क्स मेरा 50 से ऊपर है, मतलब इनमें से कोई भी कंडीशन ट्रू है, तो यहाँ पे प्रिंट कर देंगे पास। ठीक है, अब हम इसको रन करेंगे। तो अगर मेरा 50 से ऊपर मार्क्स आएगा तो ये प्रिंट कर देगा पास, अदरवाइज जैसे ही 50 के नीचे जाएगा, लेट्स से 45 हो जाएगा, तो प्रिंट कर देगा ग्रेड एफ और फेल। ठीक है, तो जो तुम कह रहे हो वो इस कोड से सेटिस्फाई हो जाएगा।
ओके
ओके,
बट
या okay, so let's come to the next part, this for statement. For I in range 5, print I. Okay, what this for loop is doing, so next control structure is this for loop. We can use for loop with this range function. What does this range function do? Range function generates a set of numbers. Let's see how it generates. So range function takes a parameter, let's say I give it 5, so it will generate numbers starting from 0. So it will first of all generate 0, then 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. So if I give range 5, it will generate 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It will skip the, it will just generate till the till the parameter minus 1. So it is 5, so 5 minus 1 is 4. So it will generate from 0 to 4 only. If I give range 10, so it will generate from 0, 1, 2 up to 9 only. So whatever parameter you give, it will generate numbers up to that parameter minus 1. So 10 minus 1 is 9, so it will generate up to 0, from 0 to 9 only. Let's say we want to start from 2, so I can give two parameters here, so 2 and let's say 10. So it will now start generating from 2, so 2, 3, 4, 5 up to 9. Okay, so this is how range function works. If you give one parameter, let's say 5 only, it will start from 0 and it will generate the numbers from 0, 1, 2 up to 4. If you give 10, then it will start from 0 and generate up to 9. If you give two parameters here, 2 and 10, then it will start from this parameter and go up to this parameter minus 1. So it will start from 2 and go up to 10 minus 1, 9. So it is given 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so let's say I give range 3 and 8. So it will generate 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, it is starting from 3 and it is going up to 8 minus 1, that is 7. Okay, so this is how you can, so this is what range function does. Now you can use range function along with the for loop. So for I in range 5, print 5. So range function is generating the numbers from 0 up to 4. That those number are getting stored in I one by one, and then it is printing all those i's. So if I run this, I'm getting 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so range 5 will generate 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So for I in range 5, so first of all, the first number is 0, so 0 will get stored in I, so it will print I. The next number is 1, so it will print 1. The next number is 2, so 2 will get stored in I, then it will print I, so 2 will get printed. The next number is 3, 3 will get stored in I, so 3 will get printed. Next number is 4, 4 will get stored in I, then print 4, so it will print 4. Okay, let's say I give two parameters, let's say 3 and 10. Okay, so now it is starting from 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 up to 10. Okay, so first of all 3 is generated, that 3 got stored in I, so print I, so 3 will get printed. The next generated number is 4. 4 get stored in I, then it is printing I, that is 4. Next number is 5. 5 got stored in I, so after that it is printing I, so 5 got printed, and so on up to 9. So if you giving 3 and 10, 3 up to 9, these numbers will get generated. Okay, so this is how the for loop works. Okay. Okay, let's say now what I want to do. So this for loop is clear. So yes, the for loop is clear.
यस सर अभी
Okay.
यस सर थोड़ा बहुत डाउट रहेगा तो वो पीडीएफ से क्लियर हो जाए
ठीक है, अभी कोई डाउट है तो अभी पूछ सकते हो, अदरवाइज बाद में पूछ सकते हो.
अभी करंट टाइम में नहीं है अगर होगा तो मतलब
ओके.
नेक्स्ट क्लास में पूछ लूंगा
ओके. ममता केसवानी. ममता केसवानी. She joined and she just left. Anshi Gupta.
Yes, sir.
Is the for loop clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Now we will see another example of this for loop. Let's use this. Okay. So we have created this summation function. What it is doing, it is taking a parameter n, then this variable total is initialized to be 0, then this for loop is used for count in range 1 up to n plus 1, total plus equals count, and then return total. Okay, then we are importing enter the number of terms. Total is equals to summation, this function we are calling summation, and print sum of the n positive integers is this total. Let's see what is happening. So first of all, total was initialized to 0. Then for I in range 1 up to it was n plus 1. So if we let's say take n is equals to let's say 5, then n plus 1 will be equals to 6. So here it will become 6. So it will generate the numbers. It will generate the numbers 0, 1, sorry. It will generate the numbers 1, 2, 3 up to 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It will generate these numbers, and inside this for loop, what we are doing? We are doing total plus equals count. Total plus equals count means total is equals to total plus count. So this I have explained what is this plus equals to means. I explained this in the first class only. Okay. So total plus equals count means total is equals to total plus count, and then what it is doing? Then it is returning the total. Okay. So what is happening? Let's see. So total was initially 0. Then this for loop started with numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This range function generated the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So first of all 1 got stored in I, then this total became total is equal to total plus count. So total became, after the execution of the first loop, total became is 0 plus total was 0, 0 plus count is 1 initially, so total became 1. Okay, after the first loop, the value of total will become 1. Then it will come in the next loop. In the next loop, the value of I will be, the next value of I is 2. Sorry, here no, it is not I, it is count. Okay, for count we can also use I. If I use I here, then I will have to do here total plus equals I. So next generated number is 2, so that 2 will get stored in this count. So total plus equals count. So after the execution of first loop, total became 1. So in the next loop, total will be equals to total plus count, so that is 1 plus count is 2 now. So total became 1 plus 2, that is 3. In the third loop, this the third number generated is 3, so 3 will get stored in this count. So total will be equals to, after the third loop, total will be equals to, previously total was 3, so 3 total plus count is also 3, so see 3 plus 3 is 6. Okay, so in the fourth iteration, the next number generated is 4, so 4 will get stored in count. So total will be now equals to, previously total was 6, so now count is now 4, so 6 plus 4 is 10, so total will be equals to 10. Next number generated is 5, so 5 will get stored in count. Now total will be equals to, total is 10, 10 plus count is 5, so 10 plus 5 is 15. Okay, so all the numbers, so we have iterated over all the iterations, all the numbers, so finally the total became 15. Okay, so what we did, we found the sum of first n natural numbers, where n is up to, where n is 5. So we found the sum of first 5 natural numbers. So this is what we are doing inside this summation function. Inside this summation function, we are giving a parameter n, initializing total to 0. Then we are using a for loop for count in range 1 up to n plus 1. We are going up to n plus 1. Why? Because if n is 5, then if I put here n plus 5 plus 1, it will become 6, so it will go up to 5 only. So total plus equals count, every time this for loop runs, in every iteration, count will get added in total, and finally when all the iterations are executed, it will finally return the total value. So if I run this function, it is, first of all, this line input function is asking me to enter the number of terms. I enter the number of terms to be 5. Okay, and after this, it is printing sum of first. After that, there is n is what, 5. After sum of first 5 positive integers, so it is printing positive integers is total. What is total? Total it is getting from this summation function only. So the summation function was returning total, so the sum of first 5 positive integers is 15. Okay, so this is another application of this for loop to find the sum of first 5, find the sum of first 10 positive integers. Let's say I run this function again and I enter the some number of terms to be 10. So if I enter the number of terms to be 10, so it is giving me the sum of first 10 positive integers is 45. So if you give any number, even if I give 100, so it will give me the sum of first 100 number. So first 100 positive integer. So the sum of first 100 positive integers is 5050. Okay,
सर एक बार टू एंटर करके देख लीजिए.
एक बार 2, 2, the sum of first two positive integers is 3 only. 1 plus 2 is 3. Okay, okay, so is this thing clear? This function is clear, the summation function.
यस सर.
Okay, yes, yes, somebody was saying something. Okay, Okay, so the next control structure is while. We have seen for is clear. So next we move to while condition or while control structure. So while, along with while, we need to give here a condition, and if that condition is true, this set of statement S1 will get executed, and it will go check and check the condition again. So again, okay, let's see an example, and then you will be able to understand easily. So what happens in while structure? There is a condition. If the condition is true, then the sequence S of statement will get executed, and it will come and check the condition again. And if the condition is again true, then it will again set of S statement will get executed, and it will keep on checking the condition as long as the condition is true. As soon as the condition is false, it will come out of the while loop. If the condition is false, it will come out the set of S statements and come out of the while loop. Okay, so let's see an example. Okay, I'm finding the sum of first and positive integers using this while loop. So what is happening? First of all, that I'm initializing the value of variable total to be equals to 0. Then I'm inputting the number, enter the number. So this will get stored in number. If number is not equals to this empty space, this total will be equals to int int of number. Okay, int of number means, so initially if when we input number, let's say we enter 2, so that 2 will be a string. So to make it an integer, we need to use this int function. So after this 2 will become an integer, so this that will get added to total. Okay, so total will be equals to total plus equals to 2, so that will become 0 plus 2, that is 2. Then we will again enter the number is equals to n input, enter the number. So let's see, I run this function, I run this code. Okay, so it is asking me to enter the number. Why? Because of this line, it is asking me to enter the number. So let's say I enter the number 1, and after 1 I press enter. So it is asking me to enter the number again. Why? Because after entering 1, the number, it came and checked this condition, number is not equals to this empty space. Okay, because number is equals to 1. So what it did, it will do total is equals to int number is 1, so total plus equals 1, so that will become total will become 1 now. After this total became 1, and after this statement got executed, so it is asking me to enter the number again. So let's say I enter the number again. I this time I entered 2. So when I press enter, so it is again asking me to enter a number. Why? Because my number is 2, so number is not equals to empty space. Okay, so total will be equals to total plus int number will become 2, the integer 2. So total will be equals to 1 plus 2, that is 3. So at this line, this total is 3 now. So after this line will get executed, so it is asking me to enter the number again. So this time I enter 3, and I press enter again. So this time 3 will get added to this total. Okay, after this it is again asking me to enter a number. Okay, every time it is checking this condition, every time my number is not equals to this empty space, that is why this condition is not satisfied. This condition is false, number is not equals to empty space. So if I give, let's say, empty space now, so I this time I'm inside this entering an enter number, I'm entering an empty space. So I enter an empty space and press enter again. So that sum of all input number is 6 because I gave 1 and 2 and 3. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6. Sum of all input numbers is total. Total was 1 plus 2 plus 3, that is 6. So that is why it is giving 6. So when I gave this, so this time in the fourth enter a number, I gave this empty space. When I gave this empty space, so number is not equals to empty space. So this empty space is not equals to empty space. This condition is false. Because this condition was false, this statements did not get executed. This it came out of the while loop and printed this condition: print the sum of all input number is this total, that is 6. Okay. So as long as this condition is true, these statements will get executed. As soon as this condition becomes false, it will come out of the while loop and execute this statement. Okay, so this is the use of while condition. When we use the while loop, whatever condition will give, as long as that condition is satisfied, the sets of statements will get executed. And as soon as this condition is false, this it will come out of the while statement and execute this statement. Okay. Okay, so this while loop is clear, or should I repeat again? Manshi Gupta left. Rishikesh.
सर एक बार और बता सकते
Okay, I'm repeating.
सर एक बार सर फिर से एक बार
Okay, I'm repeating again. What was our code? So initially my total was 0. Number is equals to input, enter a number. Okay. While number is not equals to empty space, total will be equals to total plus equals number. After this, number will be equals to input, enter a number. Okay. Okay, now see what is happening. So first of all, this line will get executed. So total will get initialized. Total is initialized to 0. Then after this line is getting executed, after the execution of this line, it is asking me to enter a number. Let's say I entered the number 1. Okay, so this 1 will get stored in this number here. So now it is checking number is not equals to empty space. So 1 is not equals to empty space. So my number is 1. 1 is not equals to empty space. So this condition is true. Because this condition is true, this number will get added to total. So total was 0. Total was 0. So 0 plus equals number. So 0. So this will become 1. Okay. After that, it is asking to input enter a number again. So this time I entered 2. So my number is 2 now. So now after all both this line gets executed, it will come here. It will come here and check this condition again. So 2 is not equals to this empty space. So this condition is true. Because this condition is true, total will be equals to total plus equals the number. So total was 1. So number is now 2. So 1 plus equals to 2. So this will become 3. Okay. After this line will get executed. It is again asking me to enter a number. Enter a number. So let's say this time I entered the number 3. So when I enter 3, it will come here and check whether number is equals to empty space or not. So 3 is not equals to empty space. So this condition is true. Because this condition is true, total will be equals to total plus equals a number. So total was 3 and the number is also 3. So 3 plus equals 3. See, 3 plus 3 equals 6. So now my total has become 6. So now it is asking me to enter the number again. Let's say this time let's say this time, instead of the number, I am entering an empty space here. So if when I enter an empty space, so my number is now this empty space. So when empty space is not equals to empty space, so a space is actually equal to empty space, so this condition becomes false. This condition becomes, when I enter an empty space, this condition becomes false. So when this condition becomes false, these lines will not get executed. Now it will come out of the while loop, and after the while loop, what was written there, print the sum of the number is. Now it has come out of the while loop, sum of the numbers sum of the numbers is total. That is that is what is total. Total became 6. After the execution of this, total became 6, so the sum of the numbers is 6. Okay. Okay, is it clear now? Is
Yes,
it
sir.
okay? Muskan Yadav,
Sir,
Yes, sir.
is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If there is anyone
हेलो
to
सर।
whom, yeah, Rishikesh.
अगर सर यही while loop यूज करके अगर
हाँ.
मुझे आउटपुट चाहिए 1 से लेकर 100 तक, जो नेचुरल नंबर्स है
हम्म.
उनके उनके सम चाहिए, तो
हम्म.
मतलब हम जो इंक्रीमेंट यूज करने वाले वो किस पे यूज करेंगे सर?
जो इंक्रीमेंट
मतलब
यूज,
प्रोग्राम कैसा होगा सर? 1 से लेके 100 तक मुझे सम चाहिए,
अगर
तो
तुम्हें
मैं हर
एक
बार
से लेके 100 तक सम चाहिए, तो वो तुम सिंपली ये फॉर लूप वाला एग्जांपल जो मैंने दिया था, फॉर काउंट इन रेंज 1 अप टू n+1, यहाँ n की जगह तुम 100 पुट कर दोगे तो तुम्हें 1 से लेके 100 तक मिल जाएगा। लेकिन
ठीक है
अगर
ना,
ये
लेकिन
वाइल लूप यूज करके करना है, तुम्हें हर बार वो सारा नंबर देना होगा, 1 2 3 4, बार बार तुम ये रन करोगे और बार बार तुम 1 2 3 4 अप टू 100 तक दोगे, तब जाके तुम्हारा वो टोटल में द सम ऑफ ऑल इनपुट नंबर, वो टोटल तुम्हें 100 नंबर्स तक का सम
मत,
करके देगा। तो तुम्हें वो 100
मतलब
टाइम,
वाइल लूप वाइल लूप जब मैं यूज करूंगा तब मुझे हर बार नंबर एंटर करना होगा।
हाँ हाँ, हर बार
तो
एंटर
सर
करना हो।
प्रोग्राम तो लंबा हो जाएगा बहुत ज्यादा।
हाँ, लंबा हो जाएगा, इसीलिए हम वाइल लूप इस केस में तो नहीं यूज करेंगे, लेकिन ऐसे केसेस होते हैं जहाँ पे वाइल लूप फॉर लूप से ज़्यादा बेटर काम करता है, जब हमें बार बार या तो यूज़र इनपुट देना हो या तो एक स्पेसिफिक कंडीशन चेक करना हो और उस कंडीशन के बाद हमें वाइल लूप को टर्मिनेट करना हो, उस केस में हम वाइल लूप यूज़ कर सकते हैं। तो अभी आगे आएगा एग्जाम्पल, या तो मैं कुछ असाइनमेंट शेयर करूंगा, तो असाइनमेंट्स को सॉल्व करोगे तो उसमें तुम्हें वाइल लूप का यूज़ दिखेगा। कुछ ऐसे कंडीशंस होंगे कि जब
नहीं
वो,
सर, प्रॉब्लम क्लास के बाद, सर क्लास के बाद कुछ प्रॉब्लम दे दीजिएगा थोड़ा सा, मतलब
ठीक है,
सही से देख।
मैं ग्रुप में प्रॉब्लम्स डाल दूंगा, ठीक है, वो सॉल्व कर लेना। नहीं आएगा तो आपस में भी डिस्कस करके पूछ सकते हो, अदरवाइज नेक्स्ट क्लास में मुझसे पूछ सकते हो, ठीक है। ओके, so this while loop is clear to everyone right now? Okay, so after that there are more examples only. Okay, okay, rest of the part we will discuss in the next class. Okay, so this chapter is also almost completed, one little bit is left, so I'll explain that in the next class. Okay, next Sunday. And before that, if anybody right now, if anybody has any doubt, you may ask, otherwise I'll share the PDF, and you will share the PPT, and you will go through it. You just go through it and come in the next class and ask the doubts. Otherwise, you can also put your doubts in the group only. I can also clear it there also, or you can come in the next class and ask directly live. Okay, but go through the PPT and try to, yeah. Thank you, Muskan. Yeah, okay, I believe everything is clear so far, and you can ask your doubts in the next class, okay, or on the group. Okay, thank you everyone. You may leave now. Yes, thank you.